They say nothing in this life is free, but sometimes the games are, or they pretend to be. And today, on Dynamic Entry, I want to talk about 2 games in particular that are marketed as free-to-play games, but have some spending elements to them. Just let's get into it, and we'll get there. So, both Zenless Zone Zero and The First Descendant have come out across a number of different consoles, and I decided, hey, what the hell? My buddies are playing some of these games, and they're saying they're enjoying them. Why don't I give it a try since the download is free? It just requires the space of the internet to do so. Let's start with Zenless Zone Zero. So, this game is one that we talked about a few times before in the past, and I am glad to have finally gotten my hands on it. I'm not big on the Hoyoverse games because I never really played Genshin Impact or Honkai Impact, but I will say there is quite a bit of style and coolness in this game that makes it visually appealing to no end. I'll be honest, the fluidity in a lot of the cutscenes, as well as the animations and different play styles of characters that you can choose in your roster, very cool. I love doing combo attacks and jumping between players. At the moment, I'm using Anton, Nicole, and Lycan, and I'm having a lot of fun with those characters. That is to say, those are the only ones I really have that I like playing. The game gives you 3 to start with, which would be Anby, Nicole, and Billy, who's a Deadpool-esque kind of gun guy. I kicked him off my team. He's okay though. And they also give you Corrin, who's a Frankenstein-type maid with a buzzsaw, for free, which you can get her for just the launch. They give you a number of resources that you could use for your gacha pulls. You could probably get about 3 or 4 pulls out of everything that they give you right away. But that's where the luster kind of wears thin for me. You see, it is a Hoyoverse game, and that does mean that there is going to be an element of gacha to it. There are specific banners that have a combination of both characters as well as gear pieces on them. And I cannot stand gachas that combine different types of items in the same gacha, because it's built in such a way where it's like you keep throwing into the gacha looking for characters, but all you're getting is gear. And I get it because you need to combine multiple pieces of characters and or gear to level them up further in rarity to continue using them in the game. I don't want to pay money on this stupid game. I just want to log in and do some mythical real pulls and maybe get an Ella. I have like 9 days to farm and I didn't get the stupid shark girl yet. And I really want her because her rushdown thing is cool. But I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be able to farm out everything I want to on this one, and that kind of breaks my heart. It's not to say that ZZZ doesn't give you a lot of ways to get polychrome, which is one of the materials you can use to do your multi-summons. Just do stuff in the game, play the mini-games, try the challenge modes, read the compendiums, watch movies. There's a lot to do. And it's just, I don't like it. And I stopped playing gachas a long time ago because I feel that they are a money pit. I already play trading card games. That's as bad as it needs to be for me. I don't need another vice. That being said, I can't refute the appeal. The character designs in this game are just so dang cool. And no, not just for the Jiggle Physics fan service thing, but I'll admit, that's pretty damn impressive too, I'll be honest. Where I think the game falls a bit short would be in 2 categories. Anyone who knows that manga knows about yapping. Our fans will tell you, they're not happy about it. Zenless Zone Zero has a lot of talking. A lot of talking. And they never really shut up. It's a combination of really nice cutscenes and then these slowed down manga panels, and then also those like standard anime game ones where it's like the 2 models just stare at the screen and the dialogue plays, and they kind of do like the talking to each other. You know what I mean? It's kind of stiff. I don't know. I mean, not every moment in the game needs to be electrifying and crazy, but I think that they could probably tone back on that a little bit and do a little more showing than telling. That's all I'm saying. The minigame aspect, getting into different enemy fights and the actual fights themselves, I think are awesome. and it makes it so that I want to come back and play Zenless a little bit every day. That being said, I'm probably not going to heavily invest in this one. Cool designs aside, cool NPCs aside, it is still a gacha game, and there's a level of like hardcore commitment on the daily grind that you need to do. I came from a lot of MMO games in my past. I'm familiar with how that can be, but considering how the gachas themselves are set up, it's just not something I feel comfortable continuing to participate in. And I certainly don't feel like giving it any of my hard-earned money. No thanks. So, play it if you want. I think it's a lot of fun. I'm probably not going to stick with it if I don't pick Ela in this banner, or can't save up, or there's not like some cool space sword person that gets added at some point. The other game I'd like to talk about is The First Descendant. This is another one that we talked about very briefly, though back then we didn't have too much information as to what was going to happen, or how the game would play, the dialogue and everything. My buddies like this game. I don't like The First Descendant. It's not all bad, but just certain things about it just feel a little weird. It seems like you're able to swap out and use different guns as they drop from enemies and missions, and that's fine and all, but you just get so many of the same type of weapon at like level 1 through 5 at where I'm at in the game. I just started, and it just feels kind of odd to me. I'm not sure if there's like a scrapping mechanic where you can break them down and then use those materials to build other stuff, but the grind in itself as a whole is egregious, and I've already looked at what I would need to do to build my first ultimate descendant. It's insane. Like, it's gonna be a while before I actually accomplish this step of the game. As far as character design is concerned, they're fine. They're not ugly, most of them. Bunny's cool, I guess. I play Ajax, and something about the void powers, the bubble shield, the barricade, a little Void Titan-y from Destiny for me. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm being an asshole here, but it's just like, it was already kind of similar to Warframe and like the creating of Descendants, and then the whole Ultimate Descendant thing, which is very similar to the Prime Warframe system. It's a cheaper time to wait. Instead of waiting 3 days for the completion of a Warframe, you're waiting, I think it's like 15 hours for the completion of a Descendant once you have one made. But it's just so much grinding. Like, I get it, it's an MMO, and it's very clearly an MMO. Like, you get into the hub world for the first time, and they give you like a Coca-Cola polar bear backpack as part of like their promo thing. But my point is that it has no problem telling you after the intro mission, you're not playing a third-person perspective shooter, you are playing an MMO game that happens to be in the third-person perspective where you shoot people with guns. I didn't sign up for that kind of grind myself. I should have done more research when looking into the game, but mostly what's going to keep me away from it is the obscene amount of grinding. There's not really a Descendant that sticks out to me, or doesn't make me feel a little uncomfortable with how similar they are to other games, where I just am gonna keep playing this at all. And look, not every localization of a game is going to be fabulous. There are gonna be things that just don't translate well, but I don't like the dialogue in this game, or the voicing. Like, it could be worse. Like, don't get me wrong, it could be bad. But it's just uncomfortable. Something about it feels a little weird to me, so I don't know. I think I'm going to be opting out of The First Descendant in full. My buddies want me to keep trying it, so I mean, I'll play when they play, but I don't see myself logging into this one for the day-to-day. Overall, I think it's great that both of these games are free, and they give you the opportunity to both try them and test their systems to see if it's right for you. Between the two of them, like I mentioned, I'll probably spend some time with Zenless Zone Zero a bit more because I like it. I think that it pops. It's really bright. There's a lot of action when there is action. It feels like both of these games do a little too much and not enough of what they should be doing. But that's just me. I am a bit of a notorious bitcher, so it could just be that I'm in a bit of a tizzy about it. But what do you think? Do you enjoy Zenless Zone Zero or The First Descendant? Are you playing either of these games? Who's on your team for ZZZ? Which Descendant and guns are you using? or, anything down below would be fabulous, because I'd like to continue exploring both of these titles a bit more. I just gotta find that thing, that switch, the enjoyment. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, thanks for watching this one and any of the others on the channel, and as always, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.